Hey guys, it's Dr. Art, chiropractor and functional medicine expert. I'm here today to tell you about the top things you can do to help heal a leaky gut. First of all, I want to talk to you a little bit. What is a leaky gut? Leaky gut is a syndrome, a condition of the intestine which is more permeable, allowing things to enter into the bloodstream. When it gets into the bloodstream, causes a massive reaction, causes inflammation throughout the body. Top 14 out of 15 chronic diseases are all related to inflammation. So this is a pretty important topic. Whenever you have a leaky gut, you're going to have an entry of multiple different things getting into it. It can be particles from food that are not fully digested. You're going to get particles of bacteria. You can have parasites. You can have yeast getting in there. You can have chemicals from body. So there's multiple things that can get into the body. Several different factors can cause a leaky gut. One of them is chronic stress. Obviously, a few of us have that, but that's not to be funny about that, but it actually does damage to the microbiome. It actually interferes with that whole thing. And of course, that can lead to a first barrier that leads to a leaky gut. Poor diet, sugar, processed foods, things of that nature are going to cause damage to the gut lining as well. Then you're looking at medications like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory that people take a lot of thinking they're reducing inflammation when they're actually damaging their gut lining, leading to more systemic inflammation. Also, you can have infections. Bacterial overgrowth within the intestine can cause a lot of damage to the gut lining, as well as introducing endotoxins. Endotoxins are toxins produced by the bacteria itself that are produced inside your body that get into the bloodstream, that cause extreme inflammation throughout the body. Those are called lipopolysaccharides. We'll talk more about that. But basically, those are endotoxins produced by bacteria inside your gut. Then there's alcohol you can drink. That's going to be causing damage. Any kind of inflammatory bowel disease, like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, any of those type of things can cause damage to the gut lining, which can lead to an entry point into the bloodstream. You have to realize that your gut is an outside environment inside your body. It's a tube that goes throughout your body. If you have damage to that, it's like having damage to the skin of your hand. Anything, you can get an infection through that open wound. An open wound inside your gut is the same way. So this is a very important area. And most people don't even have symptoms of it at all. Only 1 in 8 have symptoms of a leaky gut. Environmental toxins that you're going to get from pesticides, glyphosates, anything that are on the foods itself, you can get damage from that. So any of those different things. So how do we create a good gut? Well, let's start with one factor. It's called intestinal alkaline phosphatase. It's actually produced inside the gut. There's certain ways you can increase this in the body, and I'll explain what it does in just a few minutes. But exercise is one of the things you can do. Exercise helps everything inside the body. So it's one thing I want to reinforce here. The other thing is you can specifically increase it by making applesauce. Applesauce cut up with the skin on and boiled in a little, like a quarter cup of pan. You can cook it up, let it get a little shiny on the skin, and that's perfect. And then just mash it up, and you can have a tablespoon a day, which is going to increase the alkaline phosphatase. Now, why is that important? Well, it protects the gastrointestinal mucosa from acute inflammation, which is really important. It also helps bind those lipopolysaccharides, those toxins, from getting inside the body. So it's really important. It can reduce those lipopolysaccharides by 74%. So it's really important to reduce inflammation in the body just by doing this one thing. And you only need about a tablespoon a day of that applesauce to be able to help that. So that's number one. Number two is bone broth. Bone broth has gelatin tannate in it. Gelatin tannate is a protein plus a tannic acid, and it has very pro-inflammatory effects on the lipopolysaccharides, which are those gram-negative bacteria I told you, endotoxins, and it's like acts like a barrier, like a Band-Aid on top of the damaged part of the leaks of the gut. So it's actually like sealing it. So it prevents it from getting in. It doesn't bind it. It actually seals it up so it prevents it from getting in. Very important. So bone broth, a cup a day is all you need. If you want to take more, obviously, you're welcome to do that, but it's very important. The tannic acid in the gelatin tannate acts like an astringent. So it has a capacity to form complexes. So it prevents it from getting in. Very antibacterial, very antioxidant, has good antioxidant capacity as well. The other one, third thing, is colostrum, bovine colostrum. It's magnificent. If anything, if there was one thing you could do for your gut, that would be it, to be able to help your gut. It has pleiotropic effects, meaning it has multiple different effects on how your body will respond. It is very anti-inflammatory, heals it up, has immune function to be able to improve the immune function of the gut, which 70% of your immune system is in the gut itself. So it's very, very valuable. Probiotics. We talked a little bit of probiotics before, or maybe we didn't. Probiotics help restore the microbiome. The problem is many people take a strain of probiotics, and there's multiple different strains. There's thousands of strains of different bacteria in the gut. So you want to have a diversity. So the best way to introduce probiotics into the body is by fermented vegetables. That's the best way to get it in. So you can take fermented sauerkraut, fermented kimchi, fermented beets. Multiple different fermented vegetables are the way to, the better the spectrum, the better it is, because each one's producing different types of bacteria in there. So that's what you're going to be going after. A tablespoon a day of fermented vegetables is most like equivalent to a bottle of probiotics in itself. Also, kombucha is another really good option for you, okay? Just eliminate the ones with high sugar. There's also, you can eat organic fermented kefir. But the thing is, you have to be careful with it, because if a person has a leaky gut, they most of the time are going to be sensitive to dairy as well. Because remember, dairy and gluten can damage the gut lining. So you want to be careful with those different things. And if you're eating those things on an ongoing basis, you're still causing more and more leaky gut to occur. The other thing is prebiotics. Prebiotics are important because it's going to feed the good bacteria in your gut, and it's going to allow production of metabolites from those bacteria to produce short-chain fatty acids. Short-chain fatty acids are important for your colonocytes, the cells of your gut lining, to be able to heal and become strong. So it's very important to have that. Those prebiotics are going to be, typically the best ones are going to be root vegetables. Root vegetables cooked, roasted, not boiled, or else it breaks down the starch too easily and it doesn't feed the bacteria the way you want it to. So you want to roast those things. Just spray some olive oil, roast them in the oven, and then you can eat them. The things you're going to be looking for are root vegetables such as sweet potatoes, carrots, parsnips, beets, jicama, turnips, Chinese yams, bitter melon, rutabagas, celery root. Any of those will feed the bacteria in a good way. Those are the ones you're going to be looking for. Then you're going to be looking for polyphenols. Polyphenols are antioxidants that prevent free radical damage inside the gut lining. So it's really important. It protects the gut cells from damage from toxins, chemicals, all the things that are entering into the body. So it's really important. And those things would be such as red wine or green tea or dark chocolate are all good things you can take into the gut to prevent damage to the gut lining. So those are some of the things you can do. The other thing I'm going to recommend is this. And most people, like I said, only 1 out of 8 people know they even have a leaky gut. The people maybe watching this video know they have it, but the thing is, what type of leaky gut? You can have damage to the tight junctions. You can have damage to the cell walls. You can have damage to the microvilli. You don't really know what those are unless you're identifying that. That's why when we do testing in our office, we find the exact reason why a person has it, so we know better how to fix that leaky gut and prevent it from happening again. So I hope that was helpful for you today. I hope that you'll join us again. If you'd like any more information, you can always click the link below. Thanks very much for joining us today. Bye-bye.